4 days left to live. Georgia death row inmate Troy Davis will be put to death on Wednesday unless the state parole board decides to intervene during a hearing on Monday. Davis was convicted for the fatal 1989 shooting of Savannah police officer Mark McPhail. He has maintained his innocence, and 7 of the 9 witnesses in his case later recanted their testimony. McPhail's family, however, has no doubt Davis was the one who pulled the trigger. Davis was also accused of shooting another man earlier that same night in 1989. Prosecutors claim the same gun was used in both shootings, but Davis supporters say that expert ballistic testimony was inconclusive. You see the show of support for Davis in the streets of Atlanta. Groups like Amnesty International and the NAACP are leading a campaign to save his life. Davis has supporters all over the world who believe he was wrongly convicted, including his sister Kimberly Davis and Pastor Derek Johnson, the man who drove Davis on his way to turn himself in more than 20 years ago. I spoke with both of them earlier.
He's always maintained his innocence, and, you know, he told us he was not the one that shot the police officer. And we stand behind that innocence and stand behind his word.
You know, there's another family involved here, the family of the slain officer Mark McPhail. His mother spoke with CNN, and she's positive that your brother shot her son and a man earlier that same night. So I want you to take a listen to this, and then we'll talk about it.
I tell you that he shot that guy before, and the casing says the same.
Okay.
Now, I think those are pretty good evidence.
Justice and closure only comes for you when Troy Davis is finally executed?
I will never have closure, because that can't be. But I may have some peace, which I hope for. I certainly need it.
Kimberly, do you understand how the McPhails feel?
Well, yes, we do. I understand how they feel. Yes, I do understand how they feel. And, you know, my heart goes out to them because, you know, my brother, he is innocent. And she said that she will not have any closure, but she won't have closure if an innocent man is executed either. We just want justice, and like you said, justice for Troy Davis will be justice for Officer Mark Allen McPhail and his family.
You have said the DA's office never interviewed you about that ride. Did any authority ever talk to you about it?
No one ever spoke to me about when these many years later, I saw on your news network the coverage about his trial. I thought it was odd that no one ever talked to the first person to look him in the eyes, the first person to talk to him. No one ever asked if, in fact, when I went to get him, if he had a weapon on him. You know, just basic questions that you would think people would be interested in.
But to this day,
I was not then.
To this day, have you been interviewed by anyone? Have you spoken to police or investigators or prosecutors or anyone?
Not at all. And Don, you've got to understand the climate in Savannah when this particular heinous act happened. It was already racially tense. The community, the search for Troy, pitted the black community against the police in many ways, which made it a volatile situation. So I don't believe at that time there was an interest in knowing what he said to me.